Penguin Audio presents The Party's Over. Written and read by me, Charlie Crist. Thank you, I called out to the massive crowd in front of me. What an incredible night. Optimism is in the air. I was deep inside enemy territory. That's what my old friends were telling me. It was Thursday, September the 6th, 2012, a couple of minutes after 8:30 p.m., and I had never stood before a throng so huge. More than 20,000 men and women, a loud and raucous mix of anticipation and fun, in the TV glare of Time Warner Cable Arena in Charlotte, North Carolina. Every age, race, region, and hot style you could imagine. Most of them were jammed into tiny folding chairs. Others were crowding the narrow aisles. As I peered over the top of an oversized wooden podium, I could see hundreds, or was it thousands, of white on blue Obama-Biden posters and many, many poll signs. Minnesota, Tennessee. I found Florida, off to my right. Halfway back in my home state delegation, one poster said, "I for Obama," a little play on the highway that connects Tampa and Daytona Beach, always a crucial swing vote corridor. But as I moved through my opening pleasantries, I have to say, the applause sounded a little tepid to me. I got the distinct feeling that the audience was holding back. It was as if all these people were taking a careful measure of me, trying to decide whether I fully earned the right to be here. Were they happy to see me? Were they asking themselves, who the hell is this guy? Who invited him? I hadn't seen any polling data or focus group reports, but I'd been around this business long enough to know. People with resumes like mine weren't supposed to speak at the Democratic National Convention. This wasn't the way that game was played. I'd been the low-tax, pro-life, pro-gun Republican governor of Florida. As a young state senator, I'd been such an anti-crime crusader, people called me Chain Gang Charlie, and I considered it a compliment. Heck, I'd named my boat Freedom. Was that Republican or what? I'd risen through the ranks from education commissioner to attorney general to governor, always running with an R next to my name. In the 2008 presidential campaign, I'd worked diligently for John McCain, even making his short list for vice president. At various points along the way, I had referred to myself as a Ronald Reagan Republican. And here I was with a prime-time Thursday night speaking role at the 2012 Democratic National Convention, preparing to sing the praises of Barack Hussein Obama. That's how many of my old party mates liked referring to him, as if he weren't just a president from a different party, but a highly suspect, otherworldly creature, and probably a Muslim too. No, this wasn't politics as usual. I was addressing this Democratic crowd the same night the president was. My slot was after Caroline Kennedy, and just before John Kerry and Joe Biden. The big addresses from Michelle and Barack Obama were coming right after that. You'd have to look long and hard in the annals of American politics to find a fish more out of water than I was that night. I'd even joked with my wife Carol when I first got the call from Jim Messina, who was managing the president's re-election campaign. Didn't anyone do a background check? I wasn't even invited when Republican delegates gathered August 27 to 30 for their national convention in Tampa, just a short drive from my rented condo in St. Petersburg. Why would I be? I wasn't one of theirs anymore. They were brimming with Tea Party fervor and anti-Obama zeal. I'm pretty sure they wouldn't have enjoyed what I had to say. What an honor to be here with you, to stand with President Barack Obama, I told the Democratic crowd. A small fan was whirring at my feet. I always like a fan at a podium when I give a big speech. You have no idea how hot those TV lights can be. But I could still feel tiny beads of sweat forming on my forehead. I don't usually get nervous giving speeches. My heart was pumping now. Before I got to the business at hand, I wanted to address the elephant in the room. Never before, I thought, had that old expression been quite so apt. Half a century ago, I began. Ronald Reagan, the man whose optimism inspired me to enter politics, famously said that he didn't leave the Democratic Party, but the party left him. Well, listen, I can relate.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?